and I get paid enough, blah, 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 all those sort of things. That is normal for a vet. And I also had, at the time, 2 young children, and I was also pregnant with my third. So um, my firstborn daughter was actually diagnosed on the spectrum, and she had quite a few different health issues associated with that. So people think, kids on the autism spectrum, it's just behavioural and some sensory things and that sort of stuff, but it actually comes down to physical issues as well. So, my daughter Maddie had a whole heap of gastrointestinal issues, like her digestion tract was just not working at all. She had megacolon. She also had a compromised immune system. She was classified as being globally delayed. So she, didn't walk until she was almost 2. She didn't talk. She also developed asthma at a very young age, was constantly being hospitalised, which was really difficult when she was, classified as autistic as well. So being in a hospital system when, the poor kid couldn't cope with routine, even a normal routine was really difficult. So for me, the reason why I came across the products was actually because I was searching for something for her because she wouldn't eat properly. There was sensory issues there. Her immune system had completely crashed. She couldn't shit. Like, I had to do enemas on my child that was 2 years of age. Like, I was constantly doing enemas because that was the only thing the doctors could throw at me, going, she might grow out of it. Here's some liquid enemas to give your daughter every 2 days, which was amazing. We had a great relationship. So, that's when you start to go, yes, I'm scientific, I'm medically minded, but I need to find something outside the realms of medicine that can help me. And so it was quite funny how it all happened because I actually saw a post that Sam put up, and I went, making money from home. I'm about to go on maternity leave. This is amazing. So I actually jumped into it from that perspective. And then she started talking to me about the products. I'm like, wow, okay, this is what I'm looking for. Researched it completely. And within like 3 hours of talking to her, I'm like, I'm in. Let's do that. I'm there. So, just to cut a long story short, I've been on them and so's my family, for 18 months now, just short of. My daughter is like, she has gone from, she's now in kindergarten. When she first entered kindergarten, they said to me, don't expect too much of her. She's a bit special. Don't think she's going to cope with school or anything like that. She's gone from her first examination, which was in pre-kindy, she got 5 out of 100. Her last examination, which was a week ago, 97 out of 100. Like, these kids are incredible. Like, they said she's the most focused kid there. Socially she's not amazing. She has just come out of a shell as far as, anxiety and all that sort of thing. Like, she was the most anxious kid you could possibly imagine. She is now just like, she is so social. She just thinks everyone in the world wants to talk to her, which is great. But, what has happened to her physically, mentally, and even down to nutrition and all that sort of thing, she's a different kid. Like, even the school keeps saying to me, we keep having these special meetings about her, but we forget she's on the spectrum. And that's been a transition over 18 months where she had major medical issues. I was constantly in hospital with her. We've been blanketed in smoke for the last 2 months, pretty much 2 months. And I've given her a puffers maybe 7 or 8 times in that period of time. Like, for me, seeing that sort of transition, it's the power of nutrition that comes from, it's not just the products, but it's also a change in my perspective of the impact of nutrition. Like, even in the vet clinic, some of my bosses seem to think that I'm a bit of a hippie because I've moved to not just using conventional medicine, but also moving towards a more natural approach as well. So, I think combining it all, it most definitely has a major impact. But it's, if you have any doubt whatsoever in the products that we're using, you need to seriously do some reading and stop that doubt, because, there is so much power in these simple nutritional support. Like, if you look at what we're buying in store these days, nothing is grown in nutrient dense soil anymore. Nothing is vine ripened. Nothing, nothing has the full nutrient or phytonutrient capability that we used to have 50 years ago when we were growing everything in our backyard. Our soils are so deprived of nutrients that we couldn't possibly provide fruit and vegetables with the nutrient value that our bodies need. That's why we need supplementation. And, that's all this is. It is something that is completely bridging the gap. So, there is no person in this world, unless they live in an area where they can provide themselves with organically grown, vine ripened, completely nutrient dense vegetables and fruit, unless they can provide that for themselves on their own property. There is no way in hell that anyone else in this world can actually provide themselves with the nutrients that the body needs.
And Shae, mic drop. Like, you like, if anyone has a belief issue with these products, like anybody, hands up if you've still got a problem with them and think they might not work. Like, and I think that's probably why, leading on, Shae's story is so powerful, and that is why she's attracting so many customers. That's why she's able to do it. If you could hear the way she spoke, it's truth, it's conviction, it's she knows what she's talking about, and it just makes sense. And you listen to her and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to buy Juice Plus for everybody. Like, it just makes sense. And none of us are living on organic farms, are we? Like, no. And I even went to Coles the other day because I ran out of fruit and veg, and I just went down there, and like, even the food you eat there, like peaches, they don't taste right, nectarines and like mandarins, they're missing something. You can tell they're just picked so early, they've got no flavor in them, and that's what we're feeding our kids. So, and if they're eating like a bite or something out of that. So Shae, with you, how are you talking to people? Like, when you're attracting customers, are you talking to them in real life? Are you connecting with them through calls? Are you messaging them? Like, how's it sort of working?
Okay, so like, I guess a lot of my posts, I'm not putting up posts that are talking about products as such. My posts are storytelling, and I think that's what people want to hear. People don't want to hear about, oh, look, there's these amazing fruits and vegetables in a capsule, and it's going to make you really fit and healthy, and you're going to have massive muscles like me, and it's going to be great. Because people don't want to hear that. Like, they seriously want to dwell on their issues. They seriously do. They want to talk about them. They want to be like, oh my God, I've had a stomach ache for like 4 years, and it's my identity. And unfortunately, that's how people are. They really just hold on to the fact that they're unwell and it's something to talk about, and they dwell on it. So for me, all I started off doing was storytelling. Just like, okay, my family's had this problem, or I've had this problem, or my kids have had this problem. So, I went on my own story, and people followed my story and were like, oh my God, she's so relatable. And my kids have done that, and I've done that, and I have that problem, and my husband has that problem, and all those sort of things. So, for me, I don't really do that whole advertising of, I'm on these amazing products and this is what happens. It's more so of, this is the issue I've had. This is my pain point, and I no longer have that pain point. Do you want to hear about it? And that's all it comes down to. Majority of the time, if it was someone local, I don't get on a phone. I like to meet up with people, but that's just me. Like, I'm not great on the phone. And if it's someone local, and that's why everyone keeps saying in this local area, they're like, oh, Shae's taken all of our clients. And yeah, I'm sorry guys, but I have. Because I've actually met up with them. I've been like, you know what, let's catch up for a coffee. Let's sit down and chat. Like, what are your pain points? What do you want to improve in your life? And it's not about us. It's about talking to people about them, because at the end of the day, the best conversationalist is someone who listens. Ask a question, listen, and wait for the silence. And when you hear that silence, leave the silence. Just wait a little bit longer, because they're going to give you a bit more info. And often people will get to a point where they're like, I'm at wit's end and I need something. And it's like, well, this isn't a miracle cure. and it's not going to be the medicine you get from your doctor or anything like that, but it's a lifestyle change. And if you're willing to do it, let's get excited. So it's, I don't know, my approach to it is to let people talk. You know, it's all, well, like I tell my story in the beginning, and that's where I attract people, is where I've told my story and I've said all the amazing benefits I've had. I don't need to talk anymore. My story's done my talking, and now it's time to listen, because that's what people, ultimately, people just want to be heard. And if you can come up with a semi-solution, that's awesome.
I seriously love that. And that's exactly what we're supposed to be doing in this business anyway. Is I'm having a meltdown from a child in the background, so do disregard. But it is sharing your story, and that's all this is about. And especially when you start the business as well, you know, sharing that story of why you're actually going to be doing something like this, like sharing that this is my problem, this is what I'm trying as a solution, and then moving forward with that. And you being able to share like the success that you've had is so powerful. But I'm sure you attracted a lot of people in the beginning as well, didn't you? Like through the journey. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And there were people that I guess trust you as well. They're kind of like, oh, you know, if you're doing it, surely I could do it, sort of thing. Like it's, but at the end of the day, like it's also asking the questions of, you know, do you take the multivitamin from the chemist? Do you know what's in that multivitamin? What color's your pee? Like seriously, if your urine ends up, you know, looking radioactive, it's not working. I'm sorry. And that's just you know, I guess I'm scientific in background, but if your waste products have changed after taking a supplement, it's not a great supplement. So, you know, if you're happy, you know, and that's something to ask your potential customers or clients as well, is to say, well, look, what are you taking from Woolworths? Are you going and getting your vitamin B capsule? What's your urine look like? Yeah, so if your urine looks like, you know, bright orange and radioactive, well, then obviously it's not working. It's not bioavailable to your body. Your body's not absorbing it. Your body is expelling it as waste, which means that you are sending, yes, it's very cheap. It's $10 I don't know, every 2 weeks or whatever, down the drain. Like you're literally paying it out. So, you know, if you want a nutritional support that actually works and is not synthetic in form, that's actually real, and from you know, a vegetable source, a fruit source, which is where we're meant to get our nutrients from. Like, you know, forgive me if I'm wrong, but are we not meant to get all of our nutrients from the food that we eat? And at the moment, we're all living on mostly processed and I guess artificially ripened and artificially produced foods. So, you know, like I live on a beef cattle farm, and we're not giving, like cows aren't eating grass. We're in drought. They're eating grain. It's artificial. Like, and this grain is made where? I don't know. Like, where in Australia can we make grain? I don't know, because we're all in drought. So I don't know what the feed is that I'm putting into my cows to make them fat, to produce meat. So, you know, like, where are we getting our nutrients from? So we're all nutrient poor. There's such a high incidence of autism, ADHD, heart disease, cancer, all these diabetes, all these preventable diseases. And, you know, like I'm not putting out there that autism and ADHD and whatever's preventable. I've got a kid on the spectrum. I get it, rah, rah, rah. But at the end of the day, why is there such an increase in these numbers of diseases happening, like gestational diabetes or those sort of things? Like it's all related to nutrition, increase in obesity, all those sort of things. So it's, you know, it's something where we need to really think about supplementation. Every nutritionist will say that we can't just rely on food alone. We have to supplement our bodies. And this is probably the next, you know, it's probably the best thing on the market for supplementation.
Amazing. And the last question I want to ask you is, do people ever say no to you? People like,
yes, every day. Oh, yes.
And how do you deal with that?
Water off duck's back. Because at the end of the day, it's not a reflection of me. It's a reflection of possible ignorance, not quite ready yet. The fact that they think they're doing the right thing, and you know what, that's okay. If they're not ready yet, that's fine. That's where the power is, in the follow-up. People say no now. It doesn't mean they're a no in 6 months' time. Majority, and I'd say majority of my customers when a no on the when a yes on the spot, they're always like, oh, not quite now. Oh, I'm not quite ready yet. Oh, I have to look after this bill, and then I have to do this, and you know, then my child's starting school, and then I have to buy a pair of shoes, and then my car needs rego, and blah blah blah. You know, there's every excuse under the sun. It's the normal deal. Like, you put off buying a dress because you have to, you know, register your car. It's a normal transaction. So people put things off, and that's okay. Just keep talking to them, because I'd say that 95% of my customers took me 3 months to get. It is just like, you know, the first few that you get in your initial period of, oh, I'm starting something new, it's so amazing. And then you get these people that jump on the bandwagon with you, and that's all well and good. They're normally the short-term fast runners. And then after that, they drop off, because it's like they don't want to stay past 4 months. They've supported you. But the really long-term customers are those people that you've developed the relationship with, you've spoken to, they've seen your posts day after day after day after day and followed you for 2 to 3 months. Like, don't give up on those people. They say no to you now. They may say yes in 3 months' time, or 4 months' time, or 5 months' time. Just keep checking in with them, and not necessarily a check-in of, hey, I know you're interested in the products and, you know, blah, 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 and you wanted more energy and this, that, and whatever. And it's like, hey, how you doing? Like, how's life? That sort of thing. And it's about developing relationships, keeping relationships, and you know, those are the people that stay on them long, like, they're long-term customers, because they're not signing up for a product, they're signing up for you. Like, they're signing up because they have a relationship with you. Like, for me, I'm loyal. I only buy meat from the same person. Like, it's about customer service, it's about looking after people, and it's about providing people with the care and making them feel important as well. So it's not just about selling products and leaving them alone. It's about, you know, it's about providing them with something to improve their health, and then going through the journey with them, and every step of the way, and making them feel like they're the most important person in the world. So yeah, I think that's the key to having long-term customers too.
You have totally nailed that. That is everything. That can be our go-to training about customers and how to manage customers. Because if anyone, again, has any doubt about the products, like, don't get intimidated by Shae either, because she does have the science background and she is obviously a vet. But in saying that, there's so much science. We don't need to know all of that. We can literally have a look at a link if we need to have a look at a link, and trust Shae. Like, Shae's story is so powerful. You can't help but trust her story, because you can feel it. You can feel the changes that she's gone through, and you only need to follow her on Instagram or on Facebook to see her journey. Like, she is fit, she's juggling 3 kids, she's working, she has that much energy. Like, I am sure that most mums of 3 kids that are working, that are bloody running marathons every morning, would like feel like death by the end of the day. And you're like, whoa, I can't even watch Moana because I don't like to sit still. So I think that's so, so incredible. So thank you so much for sharing that, Shae. We really, really appreciate it. So I'm going to flip over to Em, who has only been in this business now for a few months. But one thing that I've really picked up with what Em is doing is that not many people do this, is that she showed up strong from the very start, but has showed up every single day. And she's consistent with this business every single day, and doesn't seem to get concerned when people say no to the team side of things and it's not for them right now. She's just like, oh, that's fine. Next person, next person, next person. And she's doing it from a really, really heart-centered space. So, I'm going to take you're off mute. Perfect. I would love to know how you kind of came about in the gang.
It was this lovely lady named Lauren. She just sent me this tiny little message saying, hey, how are you? And I was like, do I know you? Like, but then I checked out her page and I was like, oh my God, I love everything that she is about. Because lately I've just gone through this like mission of finding Instagrams that are more positive and less influencer about like, you know, get this swimwear, buy that, do this, take this, like less in your face. And she was just so lovely. And then the conversation just flowed really easily. And I just felt comfortable. Yeah, from day dot.
And that is amazing. And then when I asked you about the Gratitude Gang and if it was something that you'd heard of before, were you like, oh my God, this girl is weird. She is trying to trap me in something. How did you feel when I mentioned it?
I was excited because I'd been following Ange for a couple of years, but I was like, oh my God, this girl, like, she's amazing. I could never do that. I could never speak to her. Like, she's always saying, message me. I'm like, oh, I couldn't do that. No way. And then when you were like, oh, the Gratitude Gang, just so casually, I was like, oh, really? I was like, oh, it is something that maybe would be in my reach.
Amazing. And so when you jumped on board, like, what was your biggest attraction? Was it the income, personal development, community? What was it that made you say yes?
100% personal development. So I was actually talking to my partner like a week before you reached out to me, being like, oh, I think I might go study something, but wasn't quite sure what. And then I was looking into some personal development courses, but then I was like, this is scary. This is lame. Like, I don't actually want to do this. And then when you told me about the personal development in the gang, I was like, yep, I'm in. I'm all in.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
And of course, who can say no to extra income? Like, let's be honest.
Exactly. And reduce your time at Merlot.
Yeah.
So what is it that keeps you motivated? Because the big thing about you is that you're consistent in your reach outs for team, and team is your focus, obviously, since you've hit SDVF, and you know exactly the kind of people that you want to attract, and you just every single day are building relationships. What keeps you inspired and motivated to do that?
I love meeting new people, and like I've felt such like a community from just being in the gang, 2 months. I think I came in at the perfect time, and being able to go to the game plan and actually meeting everyone, I was like, oh my God, these people are actually real. Like, I can actually squeeze them. And I did. Like, as soon as I met you, Lauren, I gave you a hug and it felt normal. And I just want to share that with as many people as I can. Like, there's no point me keeping that to myself and just having it to myself. Like, I'd rather share that with as many people as I possibly can.
I love that. And what about, like, when you're connecting with people, do you ever get people like, are you in a pyramid scheme? Is that a weird thing? It's not for me. I don't have time. Like, what sort of objections do you get?
All the time. A lot of people just say, I don't have time, or I don't use my social media, which is the exact same thing that I said to you. And I didn't use it because I felt like people judged me for what I posted, I guess. Before I was even in the game, like I was like, oh, my life's not cool enough, like I don't go to the beach every day, or like I'm not an influencer, so nobody's gonna like my stuff. And now I don't care. Like, it's for me. I'm doing it for me, and it's actually so enjoyable.
I love that. So in terms of the team that you want to create, you kind of sat down and thought about the people that you want to attract. What sort of traits do you look for when you're on Instagram trying to find people to work with?
I want someone who is straight away kind and just easy to chat to. I don't have to like really pull teeth to get a conversation going. And I like people that reply to me without me being like, hey, did you see my last message? Like, hey. So I think when it flows, it flows. And I love having conversations about dogs. Like, if someone has a dog, I'm like, you're my people. If they eat the same kinds of food as me, or if they follow the same kinds of people that I'm following, like, that's how I go and find my tribe. Like Sarah's Day, I'll go and see who likes her posts that I love. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, this girl looks amazing. She was a barista, so we can talk about that. We can complain about customers together. She lives on the Gold Coast, so we could actually meet up maybe sometimes, like all that kind of stuff.
Amazing. So you've kind of got a vision of the sort of people that you want to attract, and you're looking at this from a really heartfelt space. You're like, community, it's not about Emily needs to attract team because she wants to grow her business and make money, and it's me. It's definitely not that. It's very, very heart-centered. So in a day, how many people would you say you would connect with each day?
Some days I'll go crazy and I'll just do so many that I forget how many I've done. And especially when you set challenges, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it, because I'm a really competitive person. And then I want to prove to my partner that I can make this into something huge as well.
I love that.
And I want to prove to you as well, because you set goals and I want to make you proud, and then all the girls as well. So I would say minimum of 10.
Yeah.
Like whether that's just a hey, how are you? Or if it's like a, oh my gosh, I love your vibe. Have you heard of the game? And then I probably try to do follow-ups every day, but I have a whole list of them, which I don't always get to. But yeah, at least 10 a day, sometimes more.
Amazing. And I would love to know your mindset, because I feel like a lot of people do get blocked as soon as someone questions what they're doing, or, you know, whether they're like, are you in a pyramid scheme? Are you a scammer? Like, or they don't respond to you, or they're like, are you trying to like get me for something? Or they're just acting weird. How do you handle it? Like, do you take it personally, or you're just kind of like, that's their thing, next? Like, what's your mentality?
I think at first I was kind of like, oh, I don't really know what I'm doing. So I don't know like how to react or respond to people, because I'm like, this is scary. Like, and I was scared. And then after watching trainings and just, you know, just acting confident, as Ceci would say, act confident, no one will question you. I feel like my posture has changed.
Yeah.
And just with that, people have changed their responses.
Yeah.
Already. Or I can be like, okay, yeah, cool, it's not right now, let's talk about something else. And then I've already built that relationship with that person, and they'll message me about other stuff, so they may come back. So I'm not scared of that anymore.
I love that. And that is so true. Like, I always talk about the posture and the confidence, but like, if you're talking to people and you're like, oh my God, I'm just having a chat to this person because I want to ask them if they want to join the gang, when's the right time? Like, you're creating all of this energetic sort of distribution of energy where you're just so concerned about you. It's all about you. You're not really listening to what they're saying. You're just trying to find that perfect spot for you to like bring this up. And it doesn't work like that. For some reason, you're not going to attract the right people. And then it's kind of, and I feel like it comes from a place because you're desperate. And when you're desperate because you want to achieve something, it's all about you. It's nothing about the other person. And they can feel that. They can sense that you don't really care because you're asking them stupid questions like,
they're like, that's not relevant to me. Yeah.
The weather was great. Didn't you check the news? So is there a bigger picture of what you want to create with this that you sort of use as your drive?
I would love to create some social events.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I've been stuck with that lately. And one big goal is I want to do a Bali retreat. So I really, really, really want to make that happen. And I have a few people who would be interested in that. I just need to figure out the middle ground and like make it happen.
Yes. Well, we're going to do it in November next year, and I am going to be getting you to help out as well for stuff for our team, and also doing like sort of community events as well. I think is really, really special. Like where you are now in Brisbane, like being able to do like a community yoga type thing, or do some really cool community connections where we're not spewing juice plus on people. We're literally hanging out with like-minded women and showing the community side of having a business collective. And I feel like with you, you've got that as a focus. So that would make it easy for you to attract your team as well, because you're like, who can I hang out with doing?
Yeah.
Like, who can I find? So I love all of that. So thank you so much, Em, for sharing. What I think you will find is chatting to those two beautiful ladies is both of them are very strong in either their customer side or their team side, because they've got conviction about them and they've got a bigger vision. They know what it is that they want to do. And because of that, they both are very attractive. Like if I was talking to Shae, I'm like buying everything tenfold. Like everyone in my family is going to be on every product times 10. If I'm talking to Em, I'm like, oh my God, Bali, I can imagine myself in Bali. Oh my God, I'm doing community yoga. I'm so attracted to that because I'm missing that. And you know, what Shae brought up is that most people want to tell you their pain point. If you give them space to talk, everyone's got a problem and there's something like they're just in their own head about something that they're unhappy with, and we're offering them a solution. So whether it's I feel crap about myself, there's a solution in terms of the Health Hub and the products. If it's I feel lonely, I'm kind of stuck, I'm sick of my friends, I don't like my job, whatever it is, there's a solution in terms of that business. And both of those women are giving you your answers, right? And you're going to want to hang out with both of them and you're going to want to join what they're doing. So I feel like if you feel like you're lacking in the business side of things, or you're lacking in the, you know, customer side of things, you need to go to work on your belief and have a look at the vision that you want to create. And, you know, I often think from a customer point of view, like if you're not sure of the products yourself, you're not going to be attracting the right people because they're not going to believe you. They're going to listen to what you're saying and it's going to sound very generic. And it's you know, like, I don't want to, like Shae said, like, I don't want to hear about, oh, these are some capsules that you'll have. They'll increase their bioavailable. They'll be incredible for you. Try them now and you'll get lifetime access to the Health Hub. I want to hear about what it's done for you and how it's going to help me. Because at the end of the day, it's all about us. That's how people think. It's like the me show. So does anybody have any questions from that in terms of either attracting customers or attracting team and what their blocks might be with that? Maybe you can like come off mute and share, because I would love to hear them, because other people are really going to benefit from that. Anybody? Just having a look at the comment.
I was just going to type it up, but I'll quickly jump off.
Yes.
Lauren, Lauren knows exactly what my block is. And I'm blocked around team, and I feel like this reflects through my team as well. And a big one for me is I don't feel like I'm cool enough. I've got seriously fucking cool girls in my team. Like 2 of them are on this call now, Nikita and Enya. Like they're fucking cool. Do you know what I mean? Like seriously cool. And I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I'm kind of like a mummy nerd. Do you know what I mean? So I really struggle around that, and I want to attract more fucking cool girls like that. But I get a bit intimidated talking to those sorts of people, and I find myself talking to those really drab mummy, like, do you know what I mean? Because I feel like they're going to be someone that is, you know, less work to get them to join, which in the past, like, I think I've had 30 people join my team. All those people that were like drab and boring and like not my people did nothing.
Yeah.
I've learned my lesson. I don't know how to get myself into that. I'm fucking cool. I'm worthy. I'm deserving of these people. So I'm like,
you are though. And that's the thing. Like, I remember like when I first met Natasha, I was chatting to her maybe like a year ago, was it? When she used to add all these teamies into the gang, I was like, that is not her tribe. Like nobody looked like her tribe. And I was like, how is she attracting these people that are just not her? And it's funny because I feel that it just has so much to do with your self-worth. Like you're freaking gorgeous, you're smart, you're talented, you're incredible, but you don't see that for yourself. And that's coming back down to your self-love. And the more that you learn to love yourself and the more that you learn to understand how special you are and what a gift you have in this world, the more you're going to be able to put yourself out there. And I feel like we've talked about this before, like some of the past things that you've gone through, like past traumas and things in high school and stuff. And I feel like you're protecting yourself still. You've still got that ego there protecting you from getting hurt because you are more than freaking cool. Like does anyone watch Natasha's stories? I'm like, one, I'm not a gourmet chef. I cannot cook anywhere like she does. She's always traveling, doing fun stuff. She's the most incredible mum and a cool mum, not a boring, nerdy, whatever mum that you're making out to be. You live in the Gold Coast in an incredible house. You have it beautifully furnished. Like, I'm like, man, if I did a screenshot of my current house situation, as opposed to Natasha's like ridiculously gorgeous styled house, I'd be like, you know, like you are somebody that people will aspire to and people want to be like, but you've just got to see that for yourself. And sometimes, like what Em said, it's faking it till you make it. Like, put on your pants of like someone that you love and that you think is incredible and pretend you are them. Like sometimes if I'm feeling really uninspired, I'm like Beyonce, right? I'm Beyonce for the day. What would she do? And I'm like, posture back, like get the fuck up, get out of your energy, like change your space. And then I go out like that. And sometimes it's just fake. Like I don't feel like that. I feel like crap for that day because we're allowed to feel like crap. We don't have to feel incredible and amazing every single day because we're human beings. So those days where you don't feel like you're enough, like Em said, you are enough. You are so enough. You just find that person that you want to be. You know, who do you look up to? Who are your role models? Who are people that you are like, they're freaking cool? Who's that? The Wellness? Yeah.
I feel like she's getting a bit too slutty lately.
With all her twerking. So we follow this girl called The Wellness on Valeria, I think her name is, and she is really, really cool on Instagram. And I think that's where Tash compares herself to. She's like, oh my God, she can twerk really good and I can't twerk at home. Like no one's twerking at home.
Think about it. I feel like she's really cool because she doesn't care what people think about her. Like, I don't have that. My ego's too like, I'm never going to twerk because I'm so worried people are going to be like, what is she doing?
And they probably will be like, what is she doing twerking with her kids? Like
about her, like everyone shared like her twerking videos, but it's like she just doesn't give a fuck so much that it's cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. And you see how attractive that is to have that level of confidence. Like, it's so attractive. And I feel like I saw it on TV. Like, I don't watch TV, but this ad came on and it was something on Peach TV. I don't even know what that is. But it was like this lady and she's just walking down the main street in her bra and undies and she just didn't give a crap about what anyone thought. And I was like, straight away, I was like, oh, look at her tummy. It's a bit wobbly. Then I went, hang on. Who am I to make that comment? Look at her own herself. Like, I don't question her. I go, good on her. And that's just because she was so freaking confident with who she is. I don't question it. Right. But like, if she was walking down the street in her bra and undies and all like, oh my God, don't look at me, anybody, I'd be like, what is she doing? Put some clothes on, girl. That's not right. So it's really, really about your perception. And I feel like, Tash, like, it's just more working on your self-love, because you are freaking incredible. We all love you and we all think that you're really, really incredible. And you have to look at how far you've come. Like, you weren't this a year ago. You weren't there. From 6 months ago, you weren't there. You know, and look at where you are now, and you're SSC and you have achieved incredible things, and you're only going to learn to love yourself more. And I feel like as well, the big thing with that is we have to step out of thinking about ourselves. And it's kind of like, I don't feel like I'm good enough. I can't attract the right people. Me. And in this business, it's not about you. It's got to be about helping others. It's got to be about other people. And that's the only time I started having success in this business, was when I got over myself and my pretend worries about just stupid stories. Like, my stories have been, oh my God, I put on so much weight when I was pregnant. I'm too fat to be doing health stuff. Oh my God, I don't have time. I've got my kids. Oh my God, I want to have like a better car. I want a better house. Why aren't I traveling? Why aren't I living in Madagascar? I wanted to be living in Madagascar last year. Like, just stupid stories. Like, you know, we're all doing that. It's just a way of self-sabotaging and to keep us safe, because when we put ourselves out there in our mind, what if we fail? What if we fail and we don't achieve the exact things that we want to achieve? Who are we? And everyone could turn around and be like, ha ha, I told you so. And one more thing, Tash, I was actually thinking about you the other day with this is, like, for me, I look at a woman's financial security in what she's doing as really, really attractive. And I think particularly your industry too, where people are quite well off and the wives are usually at home and the husbands are out working, I feel like sometimes you get quite intimidated by that and don't want to be seen as like we don't have money or whatever the perception is by you working. And from an outsider's perspective, I look at you and I go, oh my God, she's working. How freaking attractive is that? Like, how cool is that she wants to, you know, make her own money, and she's like that kind of woman that's financially independent and doesn't need a man to like look after her. And those other women in my mind, like just subconsciously in my mind, I'm like, why would you want a man to look after you? Well, can't you do this yourself? That's like a bit 1950s. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what my mindset is. And I feel like maybe if you flip that mindset as well, it's going to make you feel more empowered and more strong with your current crowd that you're in. You know, you're doing this by yourself, and why shouldn't you? And if you have that much confidence, conviction about yourself, they're all going to want to join you, because they're going to believe you. You know, they're going to be like, why am I relying on my guy for my money? Do you know what I mean? So I think go to work on that. And if it has to be a case of you pretending that you're somebody else, and you're pretending you're the wellness, or you're pretending whoever it is that you are, then do that if that's what's going to get you through, and just keep practicing your self-love and keep practicing your I am enough, because you're more than freaking enough. Like, we adore you. You are cool. You don't need to prove yourself to us.
Full in this little bubble.
Full in this bubble. Like, and our bubble is the best bubble. Does anyone else have any questions? Yeah, we should all totally do a twerking video. Imagine us. We would be really cool then. So cool.
Uncle, I wouldn't know how to twerk. I'd be like doing these ones.
I know. Then like everyone would be like, yeah, she's really, really uncool now. So does anyone else have any massive blocks? How are they feeling, like, in terms of attracting team and in terms of like customers? Like, where are you feeling stuck? Is it opinions of others? Is it just because you're kind of over it because you're not getting the results that you want? Like, what is it? What's stopping people from achieving exactly what it is that you want to achieve? It's taking too long. You know, you don't have enough time for this. Like, why has it taken you a year and you're not a millionaire? Hopefully this baby goes to sleep. Oh, yes.
I have a question.
Yeah, shoot me.
So I get into a lot of conversations, but because I never really start with the whole, hi, how are you? Have you heard of the gang?
Yeah.
I have done that previously and haven't had much traction. So I'm also, I'm like, hi, how you going? I love your Insta vibe, rah, 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 that sort of thing. And they get into conversations. But then I don't know when to enter the whole gang thing into the conversation. So I end up getting like so personal with these people that then I feel like, oh, am I going to like then sound like I'm being a friend? And then I'm like, bam, I'm in there. I want to know if you want to join this business sort of thing. Like,
that is such a good one. And I feel like with you, you know how you just told us about what you do to get customers and how incredible you are, taking an interest in them and letting them see their pain point, and you give them pause and you give them silence, right? And let them speak. But you're not doing that with teams.
I let them speak. They speak too much. And then I don't.
That's what I mean, but you're letting it really, really go. For me, what it is your confidence and posture. Because if you have that same level of confidence and posture that you have with customers, with team, you've got a gift, you've got something freaking incredible. And I think you need to understand as well that your business is ridiculous. Like, you have a huge business because you have incredible customer numbers and you have incredible team. Summer kicks ass, Tegan kicks ass. Like, you've got something so strong that you have a gift. And the way that you look at the products as a gift, you need to start looking at the business as that same gift. And what I like to do to avoid that situation of getting like way too deep and you're like, should I bring this up? Or am I looking like, just use them, like whatever. I usually bring it up in the first 3 to 4 messages. Now, they will either be like, and I do it simple now, I just talk about whatever. And I'm like, P.S., I couldn't help but think you'd be incredible at the Gratitude Gang. Have you heard of it? I'm not like, are you open to taking a look? I don't feel like you can't really say that anymore. It doesn't work. I'm just like, have you heard of it? And they'll be like, oh yeah, I've heard of it. Or they'll be like, no, I haven't heard of it. And I'll be like, cool, I'd love to share. Like, it's just an online wellness program, which we run alongside nutritional support products. And then I will usually say, have you ever thought about working online? Like, just sort of breaking it down. And they'd be like, oh, that sounds really cool. Like, yeah, I'd love the idea of working online. I go, awesome, I can send you something if you want. And I change the subject. I don't make it this big Gratitude Gang paragraphs. It's just like a little bit on the end. And then they will usually go, yeah, send something through. And I'll go, awesome, here it is. Anyway, and I change the subject. And so it becomes very casual. It's not this like, oh my God, this is all about the Gratitude Gang. Have I just got a teamie for myself? Oh my God, I've sent it to her. Because they're going to feel that and it's going to be weird. And then when they say no, you're going to be like, I'm just shattered. I am shattered that they said no. I quit this. This is just too hard. Like, it's not going to work. So I feel like when we're just making it casual, if they come back and they're like, yeah, it looks really good, I'm just not going to have the time. Again, don't freak out. You're just going to be like, that's cool. I thought the exact same thing. But we've actually got heaps of women in this who, I like this one, who work full time, study, have kids and businesses, or do all of it. And because it's like, it's just the point that a lot of people are like, I'm just so busy. I have like 1 child and I stay at home, or I'm like, I work 2 days part-time, or I go to uni for like 6 hours a week, and they're so busy they don't have time to do anything. And we all know that if you want something bad enough, it becomes a priority and you get shit done. It doesn't matter how much stuff you put in plate, you're going to get it done. And so when people see that, they're kind of like, yeah, okay, I think I'd have 30 minutes a day. Because I kind of just say at the beginning, it's 30 minutes a day, because it is at the very start, it is that. And then if you want to keep creating something, you could spend an hour a day. You could get overexcited and spend like 5 hours a day if you want to create something epic. It's totally up to you. But I kind of deal with those objections and then just change the subject again. So I'm not just I'm not sending big paragraphs. I'm keeping it really simple. I'm keeping it really breezy, and I'm just changing the subject. And then if it's not for them, right, and they're just like, not for me right now, great. They already know my intention. I'm going to keep loving on them, and I'm going to keep having conversations with them. I'm going to mark them down, and I'm going to go back and love their new posts. I'm going to comment and just keep building that relationship, because in like 6 months time, it could be the right time for them. in 2 years, it could be the right time for them. You look at people that have jumped on board with this business and they've had to build relationships for like 2 to 3 years to do this because someone's just kept believing in them. Like, you know, you could kick ass at this. You'd be really incredible at this. And I just know you are. So I'm just going to keep annoying you and not bringing it up all the time, but I'm just going to keep showing up in your face and I'm going to keep building my relationship because one day when you're ready, I'm here for you. And that's what you want to be doing. So, you know, these dream teamies, like you've also got to step up in terms of the people that you want to attract. You want your dream teamies. You want, like Shae, for you, like, I think it's pretty obvious the kind of people you want to attract. I feel like it's probably not going to be the people that are staying at home, taking drugs. They're not going to be drinking beers all day, every day. They're not going to be living very terrible lives. I feel like the people that you want to attract are going to love their health and wellness. They're going to love running. They're going to love juggling 1,000,001 things. They're probably going to have a family. You've got healthy mums as part of your Instagram account name. So that's the kind of people that you're attracting. You want those ones, and you need to be selective in your process of who you want to attract. You need to understand that you're attracting them and you're going to pick who you want. Not like I'm desperate and I want anybody. Like, you know what I mean? You're coming from, I've got a fucking epic business. I know what I'm doing. You get me as your mentor, and I'm a goddamn vet, and I know all the science behind this shit. So if anyone has an objection, I am the go-to person with this. Like, you've got that. So if you own that, you're going to have a total new sense of confidence. Like, why wouldn't someone want to be in your team? I'd join your team. So I'm like, you think it's a scam? I'm actually doing this with a vet. Like, it's going to change people's confidence, you know, and you've got to own that. You got to own it. Like, you're epic. And again, I feel like a lot of these blocks is because we don't realize how epic we are. And one of the big things in our team is about all of us here are different. None of us are here are the same. And we have to embrace that. Like, that's epic. If we were all the same, we were all wearing our same t-shirts, had our same haircuts. Like, we're not. Where's the fun in that? Like, it's boring. People want to join this business with someone with confidence, and they want someone with belief in themselves. And again, if you don't have it, as Ceci says, you fake it till you make it. You just fake who you are. You just give yourself your extra level of confidence, and you're going to attract these people. So I think that is a great thing. Like, you've mastered customers. Now it's time for you to step in with your truth, because you will be an incredible leader as well. And I know that's a block that you have. Sorry, I'm going on a rant. But this whole leadership, tonight, actually, after our chat, I'm going to spend, these kids are basically asleep. I'm going to sleep at 8 o'clock every night. It's like friggin' 9:30. Anywho, I'm going to finish up 2 guides. I've got a leadership guide, which I'm setting up about how to lead team. And it is going to be touching on manifesting and self-belief and all of the ways that I find it really easy to attract team. I reckon if I just purely didn't do anything else and just focused on team, I could get 10 team in a month, because I find it easy, because I'm like, oh, who can I work with? I want to find some cool, fun people to work with. I know that what we do is epic, and I just want to help more people. And so it's easy. But if I made it the big Lauren show, like, oh my God, who am I going to find? I'm so desperate to find a teamie. I just got to get one teamie this month. Oh my God, where is this one person? I'm not going to find them, because my posture and everything is different. So this guide is going to be like a checklist for how to find your team and how to have that confidence and posture to do that. And then it's going to be a leadership guide in how to manage your team, because my secret in building team is, this is crazy, allowing each of your teamies to be fully themselves, so they feel like this is a safe space where they can be authentically them. You have their back, and you're there to help them achieve whatever goals it is that they want to achieve as real people. Like, we're not sitting here having shallow, boring conversations. We are going to be like, you said you wanted to do this. What's holding you back? Let's get this done. You know, like, we're building each other up to live our dreams. And that's all we are, like that role, dream keeper. That's what we are. We're dream keepers, where it can be like ass kickers, like however it is that you want to approach your team. There's no bullshits. There's no masking. You just want to like see the real person for who they are. Right. And because in this business, you can't be successful if you're hiding behind a mask of who you are. Like, you've got to be you. And that a lot of the time is scary, because we've been conditioned our whole life to be what everyone wants us to be. So like Natasha, she's got like her, you know, the crowd that she's around in her personal world require her to behave a certain way. if she goes to these fancy races and she's dressed like a hillbilly, she's not going to fit in, you know. It's going to be like, oh my God, she is so weird. So she dresses herself up. She makes herself look a particular way because it fits in with people. And then she's like, I'm going to be the best of that. And we all do that in one way or another. But this is about, imagine if she showed up in like, I don't know, she would still make it look incredibly cool. She'd get there in like the most craziest frock you've ever seen and like, this is who I am. And she would be so confident with that. She would like, doesn't matter what it was, if it was like a dress of staples, she would make it look incredible because she's so confident in herself. Again, like that woman running down the street with her bra and undies, like she just owned who she was. So that's what this business is about, is helping people find their truth. And the way that, Shae, like you look at the customers, you put that over to the team. You're fucking awesome. You're incredible. You're smart. Like you're so intelligent. You can juggle 1,000,001 things. Like people want what you have. People want to be like you. So people are going to look up to you like a role model. And the same with like Em, Natasha, Crystal, all of you have special gifts and people want to be like you in one sense. You know, like I could go through each of you and be like, your superpower is kindness. Your superpower is yoga and your discipline towards that. Superpower is like running and juggling 1,000,001 things. Superpower is business and how determined and disciplined you are. You know, like so many of you, like all of you have an incredible gift. And now you're trying to attract your tribe based on that incredible gift that you have. And if you don't know what your incredible gift is, come to me and I'll tell you what your gift is, because you're all freaking epic and I could rave about each of you and how awesome you are. So I'm going to do these 2 guides and I am going to, Enya, you are extremely freaking cool. Like Natasha said, you take incredible photos. You're fun. You're gorgeous. You're smart. Oh my God, you're smart. Like why wouldn't people want to hang out with you? Oh, Cass, you don't have any superpowers. I'm so sorry. You are freaking incredible. Like you're strong, you're determined. Like I remember when I used to watch you, Cassie, like on your posts and stuff, I was like, oh my God, I can never do posts as good as her. I love the way that she talks. Oh my God. Like I admire that. And I was always watching your posts. I'm like, oh, I need to steal that. How can I make that my version? And then I'd like copy and paste and put it in my notes. I'm like, I just can't make that mine. I just want to copy her post. Can I just copy her post or is she going to notice that? Like we all have something incredibly special and we all want a little bit of what each other has. And so other people are going to want that too, you know, and we're not going to attract the same people. People that are attracted to Shae's team are going to be different to people attracted to Natasha's team and Emily's team. We're going to all be attracting different people. And that's what we want, because if we're all attracting the exact same people, well, it's going to be a bit boring, isn't it? And what's the the point of differentiation? I'm making that word up. What's going to be the point of difference between each of us if we don't have something special about ourselves? So I know as well, like for some people, like with Kylie, she's not on tonight, but with Kylie, for example, having the gratitude gang, that wording, that labeling didn't align with her and she never felt in place with this business. So what we needed to do with her was to create a branding for her. And so she called herself the Alignment Project and I called myself the Empowerment Project. So then changing it to the Empowerment Co, she's like, okay, I need to be the Alignment Co. So she is now the Alignment Co, but she is so in alignment with that because it works for her. And she doesn't feel like, I'm in the gratitude gang. She's like, I'm in the Alignment Co. Have you heard of it? It's part of the Empowerment Project, like Empowerment Co, whatever the hell we're called these days. But like, she is just feeling like in a straight line, like she's in flow. Whereas before, having the gratitude gang, all it made her do was think, I need to wear pink. I don't want to wear pink. I don't even really like pink, but I'm forcing myself to like pink because it's part of what they do in the gratitude gang. And people were feeling that. And ever since she changed her posture and changed her belief and got back in alignment, she's the one that hit 4 TVs in a month. And, you know, had more TVs than anyone in Team Freestyle because she was back to that. So if it's something as simple as you thinking of a team name for yourself, like I know, like Beck, she's got the Confidence Club because that's who she is. When you see her in real life, she's quite soft and feminine, but when she gets onto her Instagram or her Facebook, she's loud and vivacious and exudes all of this confidence. So people are going to look at that and be like, I want to be like that. So if it's a gratitude gang name, sort of aligning with you, if the Empowerment Code doesn't align with you, think of a name and think of a branding and something for yourself to make it feel really authentic with you. Have a bigger mission. have a bigger purpose. What is it that you want to achieve in life if you weren't scared? If there was no ceilings, you never had to worry about what anyone thought about you. If money wasn't an issue, whatever it was, like, what would you be doing? Anyone got like, what is it that they would be doing if they didn't give a shit about anything and not, like, there's nothing to hold you back? Pop it in the comments. Like, are you going to be a fashion designer? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why couldn't you be a fashion designer? But you've created your own limitations and your own blocks about that. It's too hard, I'm too old, I've got kids, I can't travel. Like, you're going to make up all of these reasons and all of these excuses why you can't do that. And it's just you. Anything that's blocking you is you and your thinking. Why can't you be a person that makes a fashion designing easy and portable and you can work from anywhere? And like, why can't you reinvent the whole industry? You know, there's always ways that you can do it. Interior designer. Like, of course you could do it. And part of when we met, we're like, okay, how could we make this business work for And it's like, she loves interior design. And I remember going, shit, how am I going to make interior design work with a Juice Plus business? But it was like, in your photos, take photos of your beautiful home. Like, take pictures of you in the kitchen. Like, look at her, she's got these incredible light shades in her kitchen. Like, incorporate them and make it very visual. And you can do this business. So you can incorporate, what else have we got? Bomb-ass makeup artist, Tegan. See, look at that. And you know what? When you do makeup artistry, people want to see that on Instagram. You can show up, you can practice your own, you can help people. And guess what? You want great skin. And what gives you great skin? These products. So think of a way to incorporate the products, the program, everything about what we do with what your dream is. Because this is just a vessel for you to achieve your dream. Like, at the end of the day, for me, like, I want to be an NLP. I want to be doing NLP, abundance, manifesting. I want to do like overseas stuff. I want to be doing, you know, like, just a whole, like, my vision board somewhere, like, with a whole host of different things. But this business gives me the vessel to travel. It gives me the money. It gives me the financial freedom. It gives me the personal development. It gives me the community. It gives me everything I need to create my dream. And for each of you, like, this will give you the funds, to have an epic interior design business because you're healthy, you're feeling amazing, you're interior designing your body. You know, like, you can make this work for anything. And Sarah, a yoga teacher living half the year. That is epic, because a lot of people that do that do this business because it's all about health and well-being and eating amazing foods and moving and doing incredible things with your body and hosting retreats. And guess what? That's this business. So us doing a Bali retreat November next year, I'm just getting quotes now, and I've already like organized like a few days of like all the cool activities we can do, and, you know, private time, because we don't all want to be hanging out 24/7 because nobody wants to do that. Making it fun. So make this business work for you and change the way you view it. This is not network marketing. This is a business collective. This is a business collaboration. We all have a business in a box, and we're all able to provide a gift to people. What we have is a gift. It's not annoying. And if people think it's annoying, they are not our tribe. Next. And if you really love them and they think you're annoying, make it your little secret mission to just keep loving on them and one day get them to join. It's like a little challenge that you could set for yourself. See the positive in this all. So we are 10 minutes over, so I'm going to be wrapping this up. I hope you girls got some value of it, and check out the group chat tonight when I'll be popping in our new little guides. Our little secret guides on how to attract team and how to lead team and how to be fucking epic. Okay? See y'all. Have a good night.